And you've been part of a lot of segments. Obviously, we mentioned Permanent as a Gun. A lot of memorable segments with The Rock. What would you say is probably one of your favorite segments?
Well, obviously the one that everybody remembers is where he called me. He called me Hermie, and he had me stick my finger in my nose. He blacked out one of my teeth, and to look like Chris Benoit. There wasn't one that stood out, but I remember always enjoying that feeling when he would pause and the audience would begin to react, and the two of us would look. He would start to look out to the audience off camera, and then I would follow his eyes as if I'm looking at something off in the distance as well. And just that energy that we had working together. We got along very well. We had roots going back to my early days in Florida. His father, Rocky Johnson, I met Dwayne when he was still in college.
Oh, he played football.
When he was at the University of Miami, and came to a show that Rocky was in the main event of in Hudson, Florida, at a small flea market. And I was the ring announcer. And so Rocky was getting beaten up by the Cuban Assassin and Nasty Ned Brady, and in slides number 94, Dwayne Johnson, to help his dad. And that was the first time I ever met The Rock. And then a couple of years later he gets hired, and the rest is history, as I say. But there wasn't one thing that ever really stood out. I just know that every time he had an interview, and it was, Kevin, you'll be interviewing The Rock today, and in the production meeting there'd usually be, we know it's going to be good, or something like that, some funny thing said. It was always like, oh, well, we know what's going to happen here.
And you two get along well off camera?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. He was a guy that, despite all the success that he had in wrestling, he didn't change from. He was the same person that I knew, and never really got the big head, And we could always joke with him, and he always stayed grounded down to earth, as I meant to say.